Our journey begins in Pittsburgh with a newly minted medical brigade of family medicine physicians, residents, medical students, and pharmacists. I wasn't sure what to expect. I had never been to Honduras, nor had I ever worked with an interdisciplinary team before. On top of that, I wondered how the clinic we were visiting would be. Were they used to our visits twice a year? How would we integrate ourselves into the community in 2 weeks? Honduras is a beautiful country located in Central America and home to a diverse landscape of rainforest, savanna, and coastal regions. We would be spending our time in the small village of San Jose, about 2 hours from the San Pedro airport. San Jose's population numbers approximately 700. Its main industry is agriculture, inclusive of coffee, corn, beans, fruits, and vegetables. Most families also own chickens and occasionally pigs or horses. San Jose is surrounded by beautiful mountains and greenery. After we arrived, we unloaded and set up our beds and mosquito nets. Later that day, we would get a tour of the clinic and pharmacy. Generally, the clinic has 4 patient rooms, a basic lab area, and a pharmacy room. After dinner that first night, we began to organize the pharmacy and distribute the children's multivitamins for the well child checks throughout the week. After breakfast, a group of us would go on the truck to villages outside of San Jose, sometimes up to 1.5 hours away by car. On the first day, we went to visit Vista Hermosa, meaning beautiful view. We set up different stations of check-in, weigh station, vision, physical exam, pharmacy, and dental varnishing. Back at the clinic, the residents and medical students helped see patients while the pharmacy students helped compile, dispense, and counsel on medications. Some of the older patients in the village were unable to come to the clinic. We would make a home visit daily and provide them with any medications or procedures that they needed. I was impressed that the villages were so welcoming, despite having little for themselves. It was rewarding not only to provide them with the medications they needed, but also hear their stories. In our free time, we got to know the children of the village who would come over to the clinic grounds after school to play. They taught us new games like mastitas de maíz. Sometimes we would play hide and go seek, or as they would call it, esconder. As dusk fell, the villagers began to come home from a day in the fields. As the sun would set and night rolled in, we were treated to a rainstorm that never seemed to end. The sky would open and release what seemed like endless amounts of water that the earth couldn't seem to absorb. By morning, the pools of water all seemed to have vanished. With every new day, some of us would go to other outlying villages to do well child checks. In addition to examining the children, we would also give them albendazole to treat possible parasite infections, or desparasitar. Throughout our time in San Jose, we learned more about the community. The dormilona plant, whose leaves would close if touched. The parade the children performed in, marching down the streets of San Jose, or sometimes enjoying the beautiful views from the mountains. What I loved about our trip was that it was community-focused. We had periodically assessed the community's concerns and the greatest threats to their health. The community had chosen to focus on malnutrition, fever, diarrhea, and chronic diseases. Our experience in Honduras showed me how other populations interact with the healthcare system, as well as varying prevalence of diseases, infections, and chronic conditions. Working with an interdisciplinary team taught us how we can provide better patient care by collaborating